Yesterday I covered more updates regarding the 3i Atlas, and a lot of people liked it. So thank you so much for your comments. I really do appreciate it. And I understand because that thing is doing some really strange stuff, which I cover in the video, right? Like changing directions, heading towards Mars, bursting every 17 minutes, and also a theory of mine that could be crazy if it comes true, but I don't know. But go and check that out. But today, I also said on that video, this is why I spoke about it. On that video, I said I've got a lot to talk about this week. This is another topic that I want to talk about, the Buga Sphere. All right. I covered it at the beginning of when it first hit the news and it was going crazy. I'm going to go over some of the weird facts about it for you in a second, right? Because some of them I didn't even know myself, and that is really, really strange. The reason why I'm covering it now is because new information has come out. I say new, it's been a few days, but this is new because Dr. Stephen Greer has come out and he says that this thing is over, tests have been done and it's over 12,500 years old. Okay? Which is like the last ice age era, right? Which is crazy things to say. However, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of TikTokers have been talking about this because it's come up with a few red flags, and I want to discuss it because they are a few. And the ones that I've heard, I think I found more. I think I found more red flags, and it's annoying because throughout this journey of looking into UFOs and aliens stuff like that, I've had these people that these UFOologists. In my mind of who I trust, who I don't trust, who I warm to and who I don't, right? And Dr. Stephen Greer has been somebody that I consider somebody that... How do I? How do I see him? Like, forgetting about what's happened now. I do warm to him. He seems like a genuine guy that wants the best for the community and he wants to get the message out there. But this statement that he's come forward with and this report, like I say, is a lot of red flags and it could really impact him a lot. So just to briefly go over some of the strange things about this Buga Sphere. Here's the strange things about it. I'm going to skip the ancient age because this is the main topic, all right? Dr. Stephen Greer claims the sphere is likely extraterrestrial or non-human intelligence, NHI, origin, potentially a surveillance probe or artificial from an advanced civilization, with seamless transdimensional manufacturing suggesting technology beyond human capabilities. That's because there's just no seam to it, right? It's just, you can't get into it. Don't know how... People don't know how it's been put together, okay? Metallic composition with layers. Described as a seamless metallic orb about the size of basketball, it reportedly consists of 3 layers of metal with unusual hardness, weight, inconsistencies, and microscopic internal microspheres embedded within. Microscopic fiber optics contains hair-like filaments molded directly into the metal structure, identified as a fiber optic system without traditional wiring, capable of emitting and receiving coded signals, possibly for communication or data transmission. Unusual design and markings, we've all seen it, right? Features odd surface engravings, I don't have to go into that. Discovery context, reportedly filmed zigzagging erratically over Buga, Colombia in March 2025, defying conventional aircraft movement. It crashed after contacting high tension wires, emitting a flash and a discharge of thousands of volts, and was recovered intact from a ravine by civilians before government intervention. Resin sample, embedded polymer or resin near the equator, contains carbon-based material used for dating. It's organic and unusual for a metallic object, with an ongoing chemical analysis to determine exact composition. Advanced anti-gravity technology exhibits anti-gravity energy fields for propulsion without conventional fuel. Heat signatures, seams, or radioactivity. Engineers suggest it uses electromagnetic fields to fly. That just reminds me of what's that family now called? What's that family? They've Sphere. UFO. The Betts family. Yes, mate. The Betts family. Right? These lot. They found this thing very similar to the Buga Sphere. And then one of the stories was one of their mates or something was hitting it or something like that, and it just went boom. And it just moves on its own. Anyway, right, let me just go back. Electromagnetic emissions emits low-frequency electromagnetic signals and has recently produced repeating electrical pulses, potentially deliberate communication. It disrupts nearby electronics and mirrors signals from alleged alien implants studied by Dr. Roger Lear. What the hell? I didn't even know that. Reactivity to stimuli reacts to different sound frequencies, with claims it affects plant life, e.g. killing nearby vegetation, and may pose health risks due to its energy field, as one discoverer feared it could make him sicker. What? Strange magnetic properties. UNAM lab tests reveal anomalous magnetic behavior, contributing to theories of exotic propulsion systems, like the Betts family one, mate. The Betts family. This could be... Oh, mate, I'm telling you. The Betts family found this. If this is real, the Betts family found one of these things, okay? Theft attempts. Man disguised as police attempted to steal it from a secure vault in Mexico during analysis, prompting heightened security. Other suspicious contacts included offers from Spain, Brazil, and group claiming prior ownership after reverse engineering. Man, that's crazy. Well done for getting through that, mate. But I think that's really... It's important to know about, well, what we know so far. Okay, bringing you up to speed now. So Dr. Stephen Greer pushed out a report, okay, on his website. Dr. Stephen Greer here, right? The Buga Sphere resin is older than pyramids by over 10,000 years. Now that alone, right, with its anti-gravity, magical powers, it could have explained the pyramids, how they were built. Now, I know there's a lot of people, there's so many theories about the pyramids, okay, whether it's sound, telepathy, Buga spheres, whatever, man. But that face value made me go, oh yeah, they could have worked together, like these orbs, how they work together, make crop circles and stuff like that, right? So anyway, a resin sample from the Buga Sphere was recently submitted to Center for Applied Isotope Studies at the University of Georgia. Well done, Georgia. For radiocarbon, carbon-14 dating and stable isotope analysis. So here is the report. The University of Georgia Center for Applied Isotope Studies Radiocarbon Analysis Report, September 19th, 2025. Okay, now this part here, I absolutely understand what that is. Okay, quite easy, quite simple. Science 101. I won't bother explaining it. Okay. But look, so I want to pick out the errors that people are talking about. And I found some more as well. Well, I say I've used some software to find some more errors. Okay. So first of all, we've got the serious technology, but it says here technology, right? So there's a typo there. And there's a typo here too. The resin sample was treated in ultrasound bath during 30 minutes at the room temperature. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. At room temperature, I think that's quite self-explanatory. At room temperature, not at the room temperature. Which room? Like the room? What? The room? What? The room that is cold? The room that is hot? Or do you mean at room temperature? All right. So first of all, the question is, why would the University of Georgia have that error there, right, in a header? Now, usually when you have headers, they're like default. When you open up a new letter, it's already there. You just have to start typing. You probably have to just start typing from here. That's already going to be saved. And this is already going to be saved. Or you just insert it. So a header, you don't really have mistakes, right? Unless it's a brand new header that they've just made up, and it's a bit weird, as well as at the room temperature. But anyway, I looked at Grok, right? Now Grok picked up, obviously, on the blacked out images there. It says, oh, it should have a proper, like, dear Mrs. to whoever it is, right? So we're not going to look into the number one. So the first one, the sample is described as foraminifer samples, which is incorrect. Foraminifera are single-celled marine organisms with calcium carbonate shells, not relevant to the Buga Sphere resin sample. The actual CAIS report analysis a resin-like material from the sphere's interior. Correction, the sample should be described as resin or organic material from the Buga Sphere. So whether Grok is getting confused here and they are specifically looking for these things, these anomalies, then so be it, okay? Sample ID and data discrepancies. Error, right? So here's the error that they found in the report. The report lists the sample ID as BGS with a 13C value of 28.65 degrees, a 14C age of 12,560 plus or minus 30 BP, and a PMC percent modern carbon of 20.94 plus or minus 0.08. These values differ slightly from the actual UGA CAIS report, which reported a 13C of minus 25.2 and a 14C age of 14,110 plus or minus 40 BP, and a collaborated age of 12,560. The correction values should have been this. I'll pause it for you, okay? Because I've already got dry mouth already. Okay, so that's another one. Misspelling terminology issues. Error. The term ultrasound bath is incorrect. The correct term is ultrasonic bath. Additionally, dried out is informal scientific reports typically use dried or desated. The correction, replace ultrasound bath with ultrasonic bath and dried out with dried. So there's a little bit of unprofessionalism in this letter, isn't there, this report? Inconsistent chemical treatment description. Error. The test states the sample was treated with 1NHCI to remove carbonates. While this is a standard procedure, the actual CAIS report may specify additional steps, e.g. alkali treatment for humic acids, to ensure no contamination, which are not mentioned here. So the correction should be clarify the full pre-treated protocol, which typically includes acid-alkali acid AAA treatment for organic samples as per CIAS standards. Inaccurate stable isotope analysis details. The error. The report mentions 180 over 160 ratios measured with stable isotope mass spectrometer, but the actual CAIS analysis for Buga Sphere focuses on 13C and possibly 15N, whatever that is, for contamination checks, with no mention of oxygen isotopes 180. Oxygen isotopes analysis is irrelevant for organic resin samples in the context. So the correction would be remove reference 180 over 60 ratios and clarify that only 13C and potentially 15N were measured for isotopic fractionation correction. Outdated reference and half-life. So it just keeps on going on, right? Outdated reference and half-life. The error. The report uses the Libby half-life of 5,568 years, 14C dating, which outdated the modern radiocarbon dating issues, the Cambridge half-life of 5,730 years. Additionally referenced the Vogel ETAL 1984. The graphite conversation is outdated. CAIS uses updated protocols, e.g. Vogel's later methods of proprietary adaptations. Correction, update to the 15,730 year half-life and cite a more recent or standard CAIS protocol for graphite preparation. Missing calibration details. Error. The report provides uncalibrated 14C age 12,500 plus or minus 30 BP, but does not mention the calibrated to calendar years, which is stated in radiocarbon reports. The actual CAIS report calibrated the age to 12,560 plus or minus 40 cal BP using the INT cal 20 curve. Correction. Include calibration details specifying the use of the int cal 20 calibration curve and the calibrated age. So there's so many errors there. I mean, like, some of these errors that Grok has picked out may be explainable, or there might be legitimate reasons behind it. But it does seem a little bit strange that these things are popping up over what somebody is putting their name on, saying this is a legit report. Right? It was only the other day how upset I was about the AI videos going around. Okay, remember that huge UFO which was recorded in Russia in 1976 or whatever, all right? And it went viral, absolutely viral. People were like, my God, this is a helicopter going over a huge UFO buried in these particular coordinates. And I covered it, and I found out that it was AI generated, and we actually found the original poster. And I was fuming because I was like, look, we're trying to find the real answers here, and the water's been muddied by people just creating these things, right? And I had a pros and cons about AI generated stuff, like, you know, yes, there's art to it and things like that. But when you're trying to find answers, it's frustrating. And then when you've got Dr. Stephen Greer, that is loved and trusted by so many people in the UFO community, like, this is quite upsetting. But it could be literally an email saying, guys, we need a, we need a test result on this ASAP. Please get it together as soon as you can, right? And they did this. They did this in 7 days, right? They received it on the 12th, and they got it out on the 19th. So 7 days to do this. I don't know. That's quick or slow. I'm not too sure. But it might not be good. So if this report is fake, then so be it. But it puts then a question mark over the whole Buga Sphere. Or it could be totally separate. It could be just, the Buga Sphere could be legit, and this letter is just going around. Dr. Stephen Greer, got it, got excited, posted it out, didn't look into it. I'm not too sure, right? There could be so many explanations of what's going on here. Maybe he's going to address it. I'm not too sure. But what do you think, mate? What do you think? Anyway, I've got some more videos coming this week, one of which I've got a video with some audio in it. And I'm telling you, this audio is really quite disturbing. And a lot of things have happened around where this audio happened. And I heard it, I was like, I've got to tell you guys about it. So make sure you subscribe if you want updates on UFOs, aliens, Buga Sphere, 3i Atlas. Make sure you go to that. Check out that 3i Atlas video, man. That's also good. But anyway, that's it. All right, for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.